Hey, how's everybody doing today? So today we got something really interesting going on. I've actually, on behalf of Russell and Snyder and Keith Daughtry, we're actually got a presentation that is going to be really awesome for you guys. We're going to be talking about standing out with personalization, and it's kind of a market that nobody's really actually hit yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people inside the market, but to the masses, it's not available. Uh, most people can't do it because they don't have the proper tools. They don't have the proper um, suppliers. They don't. There's not just a print-on-demand shop that you can just go out to and everything will be customizable and all of that good stuff. And especially, even if you do find that, it's really only for T-shirts. So, anyways, I'm not gonna waste all your time with me trying to tell you guys how this all works because I'm not the expert here. Keith and Russell are. But on behalf of me and Brian McConaughey, I want to welcome you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Keith and Russell now, and I'll be waiting in the background.
Hey everybody, this is Keith Doherty here. Thanks, Jake. We appreciate that introduction, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, before we dive in, I want to just make sure that everything's working okay. If you guys can hear me, if you could just give me a yes in the question box to make sure the audio is coming across all right, and we got everything technical and all that fun stuff. And can you see the screen? You should see a big light bulb that says "Stand Out with Personalized Products Live Training." We are live. We are here to give you the training and be able to help you and answer any questions. Excellent. Everything looks like it is working. So, uh, as Jake said, I'm joined here by my partner in crime, Russell Snyder, and we're going to just do a quick introduction. We don't want to waste your time, talking all about who we are and what we do. Just going to give you a quick overview in case you don't know who we are and kind of how we got to this point and why we're showing you this information here today. Now, we got a quick question. Ryan's asking, will there be a replay or should I be writing like crazy? Well, I'd recommend if you, there is going to be a replay, but I recommend that you give us about 60 minutes or so, kind of block out all your distractions, maybe shut down Facebook, put the cell phone aside, get a pad of paper out, get a pen, and take some notes because we're going to give you some really actionable content that you can utilize here today. And that's a great thing that you can do. But also the replay will be coming, so you'll be able to kind of follow up because it's kind of like watching a movie sometimes. Like you'll watch a movie, and then if you watch it a second time, it's almost like you see different things in the movie. You're like, I didn't even see that part for the first time. So a lot of times we do that because there's so much information coming at us so quickly that sometimes it takes more than once to be able to gain it all. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and do a quick introduction so you know who we are, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive in. And Ryan said I agree 100% that he's focused. So with that said, we're gonna bring Russell on. He's gonna do a quick intro of himself, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive right in and get things rolling.
Hello, everybody. I'm Russell Schneider. I am experienced in e-commerce and building software. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually built a pretty good sized B2B e-commerce company. And we also had a nice government business, and I sold that about 7 years ago. I'm one of the founders of Ad Factory, which was a very popular software where people could make ads just in their browser. And we did a deal with Teespring, and thousands of people enjoyed using that. I love to travel, and I've been married for 16 years and have 2 kids, a 10 and 13-year-old, and a really crazy dog. And we're looking forward to showing you some new stuff we have.
All right, and as I said before, my name is Keith Doherty, and I basically did the traditional path in life. Everybody tells you, go to high school, you graduate, and then you go to college. So I went for business. I became a Microsoft certified systems engineer, played around with servers and websites and all that kind of fun stuff. I got bored, so I traded in my computer for a gun and became a cop and chased bad guys around down in South Florida, down in the Fort Lauderdale area, and then realized that wasn't much fun either with having little kids at home. So I left that, created some brick and mortar businesses. We built up millions of dollars in business really quick. Left that because it was just crazy dealing with the employees. Started my online stuff in 2009, and I learned SEO. Quickly got a $60,000 SEO deal with a company, and it was a national SEO deal that I got them ranked for national, not just local stuff. We did a lot of national stuff. Got into publishing. I have multiple #1 best-selling books. Got into list building. I have massive lists. Paid traffic, got into that, from the Facebook and the Google side. Got into physical products. We've done over $250,000 with Teespring alone when we first got into that. And then, of course, we've added Shopify on. And that's basically it. That's just a quick background of why Russell and I kind of came together about a year ago. We were working on kind of a joint thing together, and we talked, and that's kind of how we came together on the project we are here to show you about today. So before we get started, we want to cover just a few ground rules because we know we would just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So if we talk about any results today, that our results are not going to be typical. When we talk about making money, we're not implying that you or anybody is going to achieve any results or actually do anything at all. When we talk about our clients, please know that their results are not typical. All business entails risk. And, we all pretty much understand that you have to actually work to get results, right? We're all big boys and girls. We know that we actually have to put the time in to actually get the results that we want. So if everybody's cool with that, just give me a yes in the question box. Let me know that you're here, you're paying attention, and you're ready to rock and roll. And we're going to go ahead and dive right in and get things rolling for everybody. Now, I tend to be pretty interactive. I like to, this is your time, and I know it's my time as well, but it's your time that you've taken out of your schedule. You could be doing many other things. So please, throughout the entire presentation, if you have a question, if anything at all comes to mind, just drop the question in. If I can't answer it immediately, we're going to have an open Q&A session at the end. But for the most part, I try to answer the questions as we go along because I want to make sure that you're getting the information that you want. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is just a huge statistic that blew me away when I actually found it. That the e-commerce marketplace actually in 2016, and this was a stat that came out. Actually, in 2016, it did $1.9 trillion. So yeah, you read that right. That's a T. $1.9 trillion. So the problem is though is getting this to work can be a challenge for people. Now the one thing I want you to pay attention to here is this is where eMarketer projects this to go. They're actually projecting e-commerce sales by the year 2020 to go upward of $4 trillion. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know there's other markets out there and there's money to be made, but with a marketplace that's $4 trillion, even just to take a very minute piece of that, a 0.1% of the whole thing, a lot of people would be extremely happy. So here, this is another interesting thing, and this clearly shows the shift to online and e-commerce, right? If you take a look at Best Buy and JCPenney and Kohl's and all these back in 2006 compared to 10 years later, you can see the massive change that happened. Everything just almost crumbled. Best Buy 49% down, JCPenney's just 83%. You guys can see it, but where the trend really carried, you can see where all the money went from all the other ones that lost it, clearly went to Amazon, where they grew over 1,900%. From 17 billion, they went up to 351 billion. So they basically absorbed everybody else's money in the marketplace and just took it over. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but that clearly speaks to the kind of marketplace that we're in right now and the advantage that you have that you can take part of this and be able to ride this well into the future for years and years to come. So obviously because of this, there's a massive opportunity with everything shifting into the online e-commerce world. And obviously with a massive opportunity, you can build this e-commerce business right now. All right, e-commerce businesses require less startup capital and less risk than any other type of business out there right now. And platforms such as Shopify make things easy and cheap to set up and basically get people up and running. Now let me ask a quick question. How many people here, is anybody running an actual e-commerce store right now? Just type in #1 if you're running an e-commerce store right now already. Type in #1 if you are, type in #2 if you're not. Just curious, just to get a quick poll, trying to see where everybody's at. We got a bunch of ones coming in, some twos. whole bunch of ones. All right, so it looks like we got kind of a mixed audience. Excellent. And obviously with ad platforms, this is the other huge key to a lot of success right now. With ad platforms such as Facebook, you can pretty much have an automated sales engine that can power your company into millions in revenue per year almost instantly, right? That's the power we have, the ability to set up the store, the ability to drive traffic, targeted traffic, buyer traffic directly to our products and start selling them almost instantly. But there is obviously one problem with this, right? There's always going to be problems when opportunities arise, but if you know how to work around them, it can be to your benefit. And the problem really is that competition can be fierce right now. All right, there's an increasing amount of competition. New Shopify store owners daily. You know, this kind of what happened when the T-shirt business kind of came around, when Teespring, you know, came around in about 2014. Teespring rose up, and then all of a sudden everybody jumped into that. And you know, but that was very segmented because it was just like T-shirts, right? And so even though the competition's fierce here, if you have the right methodology, you can actually have a lot of success when it comes to e-commerce. And part of the reason is there's really a low barrier to entry, like we were saying, right? You can easily, people can find products, they can import products, they're cheap, they're becoming commodities. Everybody pretty much knows, oh, they can import stuff from China, they can drop ship it, they don't even have to touch it, and it's really simple to get things up and running. And the markets that are really hard to get into are like licensed and patented products, you know, like the NFL and selling things like that. People don't want to pay that licensing, so everybody's going to the easy side and going after these cheap products and just trying to import them, and that's where, you know, where the competition comes into play. So there is obviously a way to compete, all right, and the way to compete is to offer personalized print-on-demand products. So this is kind of the best of both worlds, right? So we already know that the e-commerce marketplace is a massive marketplace. It's on track to do well over you know, $2 trillion this year alone, upward of $4 trillion by 2020. So we know the marketplace is definitely there, right? And we don't want to, the other side is we don't want to have inventory, right? We don't want to have to buy like pallets or truckfuls of inventory and put them in our garage or put them in a warehouse and then have to package and ship those. That's a pain in the butt. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants something easy and functional that they can do. So that's where print on demand comes in. Now, print on demand, you may be thinking like Teespring. Teespring is print on demand. Somebody basically can buy a shirt, and then they print it and they ship it, right? Amazon has print on demand books. You can create a book, put it on Amazon. When somebody buys it, they print it and they ship it. But the key that we made this and we took this to the next level is we offered personalization, and that's where you can really stand out. You can offer these print on demand products so that they are, you know, off, you know, you don't have to deal with them. You don't have to inventory them. You don't have to stock them. You don't ever have to ever touch a single product. So it's really easy, but then you offer the personalization, which everybody really loves because they love to actually put their, you know, their name on things like this. You know, you could take a simple necklace that says true love. You have a box where somebody could type a name in, and then it's personalized. They've made it their own. They've designed the actual product, so people have a higher emotional connection when it comes to buying products like this. You know, here's another an iPad type case where you can put something. You know, I love James and Sam, or I love whatever you want. And you can actually personalize those names. But the question is, people are asking, well, how can you do this? Now, there's not that many platforms out there that offer this kind of customization on actual in real time. And I want to introduce you to something right now that we're going to show you exactly how you can do this, called CustomPlex. Now, CustomPlex is a private invite-only Shopify app, so it works directly with Shopify, which enables your Shopify store. So everybody that already said, hey, I have a store, you guys are right there ready to go. If you don't, setting up Shopify is pretty quick and easy. You can literally have a store up in a few hours, and you could be using this app yourself. So this app allows you to offer personalized products rendered in real time. And we're going to show you this. We're going to show it in action. But the difference here is by rendering the product, that means it creates the product on the fly. It creates the graphic on the fly right before the person's eyes. So they get to see it. They get to see the actual product created right in front of them, and that makes a whole different type of engagement because the person gets emotionally attached because it's the product that they actually created. So CustomPlex was created by obviously Russell Snyder. You heard from Russell earlier, and Tobias Berlin are the two masterminds behind this entire product, and it's basically been in development for over the last year. So you can just imagine how much money we've invested in this product because it's been in development for over a year, and it's phenomenal. So because of that, I have to ask that we're not doing a mass market rollout out of this. We're not doing some big marketing launch and inviting all these, affiliates on board to tell everybody about this. We're not doing that. We prefer that people that decide to move forward with us actually have some runway without a lot of competition. So what we're saying is we're not telling the entire world about this application. So it's kind of confidential, and we're kind of asking that you don't run around and tell everybody like, oh, did you see that? We want you guys to have, that first action taker ability where you can implement this, and there's not going to be a lot of competition because not a lot of people are going to take part. They're going to have access to this because it's not open to the general public. You can't just go to our site and buy. You can't just get access. The only reason you're seeing this information is because Jake is good friends with Russell, and they connected, and they said, hey, we between Jake and Brian, they said, we want to tell our people about this. Will you come and show them what this great tool can do for them? So that's why we're here today. So quick disclaimer on this, while this might be the coolest software ever, which I think it really is, and once you see it, you're going to be pretty impressed yourself, there's no promise, obviously, or guarantee that you're going to make any income. So just by installing by installing this app, you're not going to, the money's not going to pour out of your computer, right? We all understand that. As with any tool, your own results are going to vary, and this is not a get rich quick. We understand that, right? We're all on the same page. So let me kind of just give you a simple step-by-step process of how CustomPlex actually works. It's basically 4 simple steps. The first thing is set up a Shopify store. Now, a bunch of you have already said, hey, we already have a Shopify store. So you've already done this. So you're already one step in. The next step is you click a simple button, and some of you have probably installed apps on your store before. If you don't have Shopify up and running, maybe you've installed an app on your phone. It's literally like clicking a button and the app installs itself. So there really isn't a whole lot for you to do when the install just goes over your Shopify store. Step 3 is you add a product. Now we're going to get into and show you some examples and show you exactly how you can do this and the many different products that you can offer, because it's not limited to just what's on your screen there. You can just, you'll be blown away with all the amount of products that you can actually offer that can be personalized. So you simply add a product and then you start selling. It's really that simple. This is how CustomPlex works. Get the Shopify store up, install the app, add a product, and you immediately start selling right out of the box. All right, so let's let me show you guys. Let me show you guys a few examples of how this works. All right, I'm just going to walk you through a few of these, and then we're going to actually show you a live demo so you can actually see how the actual software works. All right, so here's case study number 1. This is a baby pillow. So this is what we did is we went online and we searched for a baby pillow, and we found this company that sells these personalized baby pillows. So they basically they sell these personalized baby pillows, and you can buy it for $34.99, and you basically give them their information, your child's name, the date, the time, the length, how long the child was, and then the pounds and ounces. The problem with this is the company doesn't render it in real time. You don't get to see your child's picture on, or their information on the pillow. You just give them the information, and you're like, well, when it comes, I guess it'll look like that. So you just see an example here. So we took this company that we found, and we created the same product. Now I did this pretty quickly. Obviously, if you're going to market this, you're going to probably build it out a little bit better. But I threw it together really quickly because I wanted to see the power of what CustomPlex can do. Now keep in mind here, we're customizing this thing on. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different personalization fields. So we're not just talking about somebody being able to say, oh, what's your name, to put your name on a shirt or a mug or something. This has 7 levels of personalization. Now you can go more. It's unlimited amount of layers. If you can fit them all in there, you can put as many layers of personalization on any product that you want. It's totally up to you. But with this one, there's 7 layers, so that already makes it pretty advanced, right? So essentially, So this is in the back end, and Russell's going to show you this, and you're going to see this in more detail, but this is the back end setup. Then on the front end, this is what it looks like. So this is actually through CustomPlex right now. So what you do is you go to your Shopify store, and when somebody clicked on your product, they would see Baby Pillow VIP. They'd type in the first name, the middle and last name, the date of birth, the length, the time of birth, the pounds and the ounces, and then it automatically, once they click to preview, it creates the pillow right in front of them, right? It creates the pillow right in front of them, and they get to see it, and then that creates a higher emotional connection, because just think about this as a parent, right? If a parent's ordering this for their child, they're going to be like, wow, you know, they get to see there's my son, Michael David Jackson. They get to see the birth date, the time, and all that. It create, even if it's a relative or somebody like that, when they create, because they've created this product. This product did not exist until they entered that information. So when they enter that information, it creates the graphic in the back end. And then what happens is, I'll show you what happens. This is where we took it to the next level. So when they add this to their shopping cart, so we could have just put a default pillow in there, but it actually, the pillow that was created, the personalized product that was created, follows them right into the shopping cart. So they get to see, hey, there's my son's name or my child's name or my grandson's name, and they get to see the actual pill they created right in the shopping cart. It's ready to go. And then here's what happens on the back end. So a lot of people are saying that's great, they can order, but how do I actually get this product? And what happens is, this is through, we have a few integrated suppliers, all right, and you can use any supplier you want. So we didn't make our system locked down to one specific supplier. We have a few that are actually directly integrated, and what it does on the back end is it creates the graphic, it'll send it over to the supplier, they create it, so they create the pillow or whatever the product is, and they ship it, and that's it. It's hands off. We never touch it, we never see the product, we never have to inventory, we never have to do any of that. So let's look at a profit breakdown of this is of how this would work. So let's say we took this pillow, right, and we sold it for $39.99, and let's just say hey, we're not even going to charge shipping and handling. So the total we collect, right? So if you're brand new and you don't have your own store, when you run your own Shopify store, you get to collect the money. The money comes into you. You collect that $39.99 it's in your hand, whether it's either through a Stripe credit card or PayPal, but the money comes into you directly. So then the print on demand company behind the scenes would go ahead and create the pillow. So for this case, we just did an example with Printful, which is one of the integrated suppliers. For $17, they'll create this pillow. So the profit on this would be $22.99. So the benefit here is by using print on demand and personalization, you're creating personalized products that have a higher emotional connection to your buyer. Plus, you can charge more, right? You can charge more because they're personalized. When people personalize things, they expect to pay more, because it's not just an item that's been duplicated and processed over and over again. It's a unique item that was created specifically for them. So they know that they're going to pay more to have a personalized item. So our margins are better. So this is so much better than selling, you know, $2 or $3 necklaces off of AliExpress and trying to make margins, when you could sell something like this that's personalized, and you could have much better margins where your profit could be well over $20 on an item like this. So here's a second case study. We found this print. All right, this is a couple's wall art. So this is this wall print, and they got all the way from $80 to $125, and it basically has the names, and it has the date we met, our first date, and our first kiss. So we replicated the same product inside of CustomPlex. So we replicated it. So they would order it. They would put in the day we met, our first date, our first kiss, and then their names, and their names would get dropped in there. So same thing with this, it goes into the back end. The graphic gets created on the fly. The print on demand company prints it, ships it, and it goes right out the door. That's what it would look like. And then this one, if we actually sold it for $139.99 with free shipping, we would collect that. The fulfillment would be $85. Our margins on this, all right, our margins on this would be $54.99. So you can see you have a lot of room. There's a lot more room when it comes to personalization and print on demand when you do this, right? So the margins are so much better. You have so much more money that you can use for advertising, as well as putting more money in your pocket. So let me pause just for a second because I see some question coming in, and I just wanted to let's make sure we're not missing anything. Name field may be too short for two names. I'm not quite sure what you're asking on that one. And let's see, I see you're using Printful. We're going to talk about the other providers in just a minute. Other suppliers in the USA only or Europe. And you can use any supplier you want, Ryan. That's the great thing. We left the platform open to be able to use any supplier that you want to use. So, so integrated suppliers. All right, cool. So we got those covered. Yeah, you can use double names like Mary-Ann. So whatever they type in there is what's going to show up on the actual item. So if they typed in Mary-Ann, whatever's typed in that field is what's going to be printed, right? And when Russell does the demo, you'll see how the back end works and how that's all integrated. So here's another case study I did just as an example of kind of something a little bit different to show you guys how you can think outside the box when it comes to suppliers, right? So here's a flask that's sold by a popular company here in the United States. They do engraving. So I'm like, wow, $24.99 for a flask. I thought it was engraved for $24.99, but I guess I was wrong because when I added it to my cart to personalize it, they wanted another $28. So for me to order this flask personalized, they wanted $52.99. And then they said, oh, well, we want $10 shipping, and they actually have a store here in Florida where I'm based. So they wanted sales tax too. So for me to get this flask personalized and shipped to me was $67.04. So I'm like, dang, it's a little high for a flask. So I said, can we replicate this with CustomPlex? How could we, obviously there's a marketplace out there for this. How can we take advantage of it? So I actually went to AliExpress. So here's a little creative way that you can do things. I went to AliExpress and I found this flask, which is a personalized flask. So I can order this directly from China, personalized, shipped directly to the United States for $6.54. So that includes e-packet shipping. So if you're new to the drop shipping world and you want to ever ship anything from AliExpress or China, you always want to use e-packet. And the reason is e-packet is going to come via the USPS Postal Service, and they're going to have a tracking code. All right, you're going to want something with a tracking code. Otherwise, if somebody disputes they didn't receive an item, you have no way to track it. And if they happen to use PayPal and they dispute it, you have no way to say, well, the item was delivered or it wasn't delivered. You have no way to do it. I always use e-packet, but this is actually included $6.54. I can get this flask shipped, customized from China to my consumer in the United States. Now, let's say we go ahead and put it on our site. We sell it for $4. Now, remember, they were selling it for $67 out the door with shipping and everything. Let's say we sell it for $49.99. Free shipping and handling. We only have to pay $6.54 to get this created, right? So we could profit $43 on this flask. How many people here would like to make some of these margins, like $40, $50, $20 margins? Do you think those are a lot better than selling, you know, necklaces and basic things where you might be getting $1, $2, or doing free plus shipping offers where you might be making a few dollars? So that was the whole reason that we developed this application, is so that we can offer a unique product that nobody else has, right? Because once somebody creates this product, it's unique and it creates it in real time. So that's the other huge thing, is anybody can offer personalized products, and they, you know, people can, like even on Amazon, you can go buy personalized products, but they just have a form. You fill out the form. You don't get to see what it looks like. So there's the connection to the product isn't there like this. People want to see, right? They want to see. I want to see exactly what it looks like when what is my product going to look like? So by being able to render these products in real time and then send them off to print on demand, it's just unheard of that you can do this, because you're taking advantage of the best of both worlds, where it's personalized and it's print on demand, which means I don't have to touch any of this inventory. So that makes it really great. So the power of personalization, this is just to give you, there's so many things on here. This is just to give you ideas of because you might be thinking, well, t-shirts, mugs, and things. Anything that you can get printed through a supplier, right? Any supplier that you want to use, you can personalize that product, right? And somebody says, how are you advertising? Well, we advertise all our stores through, we use Facebook ads, because Facebook ads, we can highly target the buyers that we want. We can get in all the different niches. So we find the best thing is to use the Facebook ads. But here you can see the power of personalization and all the different things that you can. So this is just, and this isn't even all inclusive. So I'll give you guys some other ideas here. And here's a kind of a ninja thing that people don't think about is how many people have heard of the store Etsy? ETSY, Etsy. It's like, if you haven't heard of it, it's kind of like an art type marketplace where people can sell different kind of you know, items they made or things like that. So here's what you can do. Let's say you go over to Etsy and you find let's say you find like a wooden, let's say you find a wooden clock. Like they carve a wooden clock and they'll carve your name in it. So it's personalized. So what I would do is I would go over to Etsy and I'd get a hold of that vendor and say, hey, can you give me like a wholesale deal? If I sell a bunch of these clocks for you, what's the best rate you can give me? And then you can set that clock up inside of CustomPlex, sell the personalized clock. Then when the order comes in, it sends an email off to your supplier on Etsy. They create the clock, they ship the clock. It's still out of your hands. So that's why we're saying our platform is so open that it doesn't have to be locked down to a vendor. You can use any vendor you want. Now, of course, like I said, we're going to talk about and show you, we do have integrated vendors, which it's directly connected to their system, but we've also made it open to where you're not locked down to a platform. We didn't want to tell you, oh, you have to use CustomPlex, or you have to use PrintX, or you have to use Printful. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to handcuff you into any type of deal. We wanted you to bring your own vendor relationship. Now, we do have some set up. If you want to use them, you can, but we wanted to keep it open that you could use anything you wanted to. So how many people here want to see it in action? Just give me a yes, give me a Y in the chat box. If you want to have Russell, I'm going to have him open up the engine, basically kind of show you around and show you, you actually get to see how this thing works and how efficient and how effective it is. All right, everybody's saying yes, 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 yes. So let's make sure that we got Russell is ready to let me know, Russell, and I'll hand over.
Yes,
the
I'm all ready to go.
All right, so I'm going to pass this presenter over to Russell. Let's see here, make presenter, yes.
Okay.
All right, you guys should be seeing Russell's screen. Just let me know if you can see a white screen. It says CustomPlex, the top right. Just go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box if you can see Russell's screen. All right, we got a bunch of 1s, so it looks like you're live, Russell.
Okay, great. So, hello everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. So, CustomPlex is a Shopify app. So you have to have a Shopify store, and then you install this app. It's not listed on the Shopify App Store because it's a private app. And so once you well, anyway, let me continue. So, well, I'll just go back to that. It's not listed on the App Store. So when you get the app, we give you instructions on how to install it. Okay, so on this, you can see this app's been installed on this store. This is our development one. So normally it just says CustomPlex. And when you load the app, it looks like this. You have products and orders, settings, and stores. And I'll show you, we'll get back to this in just a moment. But I'm going to show you what it looks like if you have a store selling CustomPlex products, customized products. This is just a small sample of what you can do. So let's go look at a specific product, for example. So these are just some products you can have with it. So this is a t-shirt that has a design that says, I never thought I'd be an awesome Nana, but, and then the customized text goes to where it says, goes in the spot where it says grandkid names. So in this case, you would be targeting to grandparents. And here's how you would do this. The customer goes on your store and types, say, names of their grandchildren, goes like this, and check that out. That's customized text. So now they can just buy that shirt. So they would say add to cart, let me reboot this real quick because I had this sitting here. So, whoops. Lisa and Bob, and then click here to preview. It makes the names. So that's what CustomPlex does. It renders this on the front end, and then if they would say add this to cart, now that's in the shopping cart. So if you would go to the shopping cart, that shirt right there is in the shopping cart, and they would check out, and then you could process the shirt. So the way that looks inside of CustomPlex is like this. This is the shirt product inside of CustomPlex. So what happened was the artwork was made, this artwork, but then this text was simply put here by, you can enter this with the software. And what's really neat is that you can put anything you want. You could just say, you can add as many layers of text, and you could have the text show up as however you want. So you can utilize any font. You can upload fonts from your system. They have to be TTF fonts, but there are translators out there. So even if you only have OTF fonts, you could just put them, look it up on Google and translate them, and then put them up here in CustomPlex. You can change the way this shows. You can resize the font. Watch, I just made it smaller. So if I would press update and then go back to this, that font where the names show up would actually be smaller. You could align the text however you would like. You can choose different colors for the fonts. So if I wanted to make that font another color, I could choose that. And then these were some fonts that have been uploaded so far. And you can make the font have a stroke around it, so a colored stroke around it. So let's go like this. We pick say a purple color, and then you just click here and you say stroke width, say 8, update text, and see how it put that 8-point stroke around the white text. So I'll update that, take away the stroke. You can rotate the text, and you can actually bend it. So if we wanted to bend it, and it will show up like that once it's customized. So if we want to bend it, you can bend it. And in order to do that, you would stretch it out a little. And then you just pull this and say update text. See how you can bend the text right there? And so there are a lot of other controls. These designs are other designs that you would have made, and it saves them. So it's very easy if you want to apply this design to a different product. So let's say you want to apply it to a hoodie, or you want to apply it to another non-apparel product that you have in CustomPlex. You can easily just add the design, and then you can change the entry fields of what people will enter, so that in those fields where right here it says grandkid names. So when you're adding products, in this case, these are all the colors available. It's really good to kind of limit the colors and options people have to just the least possible, because what they've found in e-commerce is to get high conversions, you want to have as few colors as possible. But these are some top selling colors. So these were the ones that the shirts offered in. So if you look here, the customer can choose these different colors, and those colors are rendered right there. So you can see that in real time, how it works. And I'd love to show you some other examples of the type of products, because we've recently made some upgrades to the software where before we had just text and you could just do it, you could just have items where, say, it was a shirt or that kind of pillow, but we changed it and upgraded it. So now you could do all over products, and you can also upload product photos. So your customers can upload product photos. So let me show you an example of that. So let's go to this pillow, and I'll show you this. So this would be a pillow. And then for the right eye, let's say I just took these things from Google. Let's go to kitten, and then watch this. So neat. And then for the other eye, we'll pick a puppy. But imagine what you could do with this, because you could make it really fun. Okay, we'll go like this. So imagine all of the things you could do with this by giving people the option to upload their pets or their grandchildren or their children or their family. It's really mind-blowing. And you can also have custom text in addition to that. So if you wanted to say, let's give an example of something you could say here is shout out, just for the sake of this example. Watch this. So see how it changed the text, and see how that text has the stroke on it. So that's a red font with a black stroke. And then we have the photos integrated with the text. And then you could just add this to the cart. And if there were options for other sizes, those would be here as well. So that's how the front end works. And the back end works, you can enter in all of your different, you can enter in new suppliers very easily here on the back end, and then you can enter in their products and whatnot, and those will be permanently in there, and it just kind of has an intuitive menu where you go through it, and then you could add the options. So if you wanted to add, say, a leather wallet that the vendor was going to print on because you have an exclusive on it, you can enter that right in here, and then that will show up. And then when you're making the product, it will pull from that. And then you can have multiple stores, and the order processing is really neat too. I'm not going to go into that on this demo, but the order processing works alongside of your Shopify system, so that you can easily process orders. And what CustomPlex does is it either, if there's an integrated vendor, it works through what they call the API and just sends the order over to them. But it also has the option to just simply email vendors. And that's pretty neat, because it just emails them the file, but not this file right here. It emails them the file with all the blank background, the transparent background. So they're able to print a design on the product. And then and then in that email is also a picture like this, so they know what it's supposed to look like and know the placement on the product, as well as the order information of where the order is shipping to. And then that vendor bills you. So the vendor bills you outside of CustomPlex. But you could set up your payment with the vendor, and then they'll just send you, usually they send you, when people are doing several orders, they just send you the billing, and you can pay them with PayPal or whatnot, however you want to work it with your vendor. So what we try to do is keep separate from the business relationship you have with whatever suppliers you have. And I think that's a giant plus. And I think as we go to the end of this, I would like to show you a few more examples. So if we go here to this demo store, would you like to see another example? Let's say we go home and then to the VIP. So Keith already showed you that pillow that's really neat, but look at this. You could have a ring. This is a low resolution image, but let's say my wife's name is Amor. I could say click here to preview. And then so that would be sent to the vendor, so that's pretty neat. And you could sell cutting boards. You could just use this and sell whatever you want. I think that concludes my demo. Did you guys like that?
Does anybody have any questions or anything that you want Russell to show you before we flip back over to the other screen here? Just before, we'll give him a second here. Yeah, and that ring, the reason it's low resolution is somebody challenged me. They sell personalized jewelry, and they said, "Oh, you can't. I bet you can't take one of these rings and throw and personalize." I said, "I know I can do it," and I was able to bend the text and convert it just right, like you saw Russell do there. And that's why I didn't. Normally, you're going to have a high resolution graphic that you're going to use, but that was a quick test just to prove somebody wrong, because I like to do that. So I wanted to show them that this CustomPlex was extremely powerful.
And Keith, may I add one more thing? There's one item I didn't share in any more detail with you guys, but we just added a feature where you can have all over prints. But so those are really popular right now, all over print shirts and hoodies. And there is a vendor who has agreed to accept, they're going to be semi-integrated with us, meaning that they're going to have all their products in CustomPlex, but they're just going to take email orders. So we will give you the information to sign up with that vendor. It's actually called All Over Print, and they specialize in beautiful quality all over prints.
All right, awesome. So let me go ahead and cancel this, flip back here. Let's make sure. Perfect. All right, cool. So just to kind of give you guys, I mean, what did you guys think of that so far? I mean, I know Russell kind of went through it, and we wanted to kind of show you behind the scenes and everything. I would sort of say nice, super great. All right, cool. So just to kind of give you an idea of some of the, Russell mentioned this. We talked about the all over prints. He talked about bringing that vendor on board, because these are very popular now, where you can print directly all over the entire shirt. The cutting boards, like these are like a bamboo, not a cutting board. This is actually an iPad type case or laptop cover, like a bamboo cover. This is really cool. And this is just so you can think outside the box, right? Here's a company that offers personalized bats. Just think how, I mean, parents are crazy. I don't know if any of you on here have kids that are in sports. I know my children have been in sports, and I know how parents can be when it comes to sports, right? Think about that, a personalized bat with your child's name on it, custom glass etchings, right? That's another thing, etching on the actual like tumblers, etching on like decanters and things. So this is just to kind of expand your mind that we're always looking to find other vendors that we can integrate. But like we said too, we left the platform open, that you can literally, especially if you have vendors that allow you to send like an email order, you can set that directly up where it creates the graphic, and you can email directly the graphic right over to your vendor for manufacturing. So a lot of the vendors are moving to that format. So, and that's the reason we set it up, so that we weren't trying to lock you down to one specific platform. So now people have asked this question. So just when Russell talked about direct API integrated vendors, that means we're directly connected, and sends the order over to their API. We do have Printful on board, which they can do all sorts of things, from posters to frame posters, canvas, all the t-shirts, hoodies, all the full clothing line, mugs. Embroidery, I don't believe that's on board yet because of the intricate way that is, but the cut sew with like the pillows, the sublimation, phone cases, all that kind of stuff is through Printful. Another vendor that we do have integrated is PrintX, which to me, the margins, if you're going to pick an integrated vendor, the margins with PrintX are going to be a little bit better than they are with Printful. And Printex has everything from all the shirts to the baby onesies, the hoodies, sweatshirts, bags, apron. I mean, the food market's a huge, cooking market is a huge market. Bibs, another one with, babies. Just think about a personalized bib for a child. Parents go crazy when they have children. They buy all sorts of stuff. So if they can actually personalize something directly for them, it just makes it that much better of a product. Wine is another huge market. So wine totes, can holders, the koozies, the pillowcases, the mugs. The cool thing with Printex too, they've added I don't know if you guys have seen those color changing mugs. Those mugs that it's hot, it's one color, and then when it gets cold, it reveals like a design and stuff. I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. They have the color changing mugs that you can use, the water bottles. So they have a full product line. If you wanted to go with a fully integrated vendor and not have to worry about anything, I mean, Printex would be my choice hands down, because it has so many product offerings, and it gives you so many variety of things that you can offer to your customers. So obviously there are always going to be more vendors on the way. We're always talking to more vendors about potentially integrating them, but like we said, the platform is still open that you can use anybody you want to. So let me ask you guys, who's ready to start using CustomPlex today? Just give me a yes in the question box if you're like, hey, I want to start using this today. Excellent. We got people putting ones, AJ. That's good. I'll take your one as a yes. Yes. Dustin, if you could, I'm sorry if I missed your question, Dustin. If you could drop it in, I'd be happy to answer it for you. We got a bunch of people saying yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. Jake, did you want to chime in here? I didn't know if you unmuted. And
I was just, I saw a couple of good questions that I wanted to see if you could answer for these guys. One was, it was by Dustin. He was asking what type of files are supported as far as for uploading uploading images. He said that he needs really high quality images, and what sizes and what formats are uploadable.
Sure. Russell, you want to handle the technical side there and talk about the images?
Yeah, I don't have I'd have to get back to you with that, because I don't know the exact numbers, but since we upgraded the app with the all over print capability and the ability to do photos, it's a lot larger than it was. The sizes are a lot larger than they were when we only enabled text printing. So, but I'll have to get back to you. But they're pretty good size, so they look good. So they look good when they're printed. As a matter of fact, we recommend that the setting is at 200 dpi. Inside the app, you can control some of that file size, and you can set it so that the printed file, at what DPI and what size the printed file is. So, but what your real question is how big the maximum size is, and I don't know that, but it's thousands of pixels.
Yeah, they're right. We've never had any issues. Yeah, Fad's asking, what's the difference between CustomPlex, CustomCat? CustomPlex, we're not a print-on-demand company. We don't have printers. We don't print on demand. We don't offer the actual products like that. So that's why we left the back end open to where you could use CustomCat, Printex, Printful, anybody that you want, a local vendor that does printing. You could send the files to them and they'll print them and ship them for you. So we wanted to make it open to anybody. So we're not a print-on-demand company. We're a software company that has this application that offers the real-time personalization, and that's really what this app is. So essentially what we've decided to do, and because Jake and Brian invited us here, is we have the CustomPlex Founders Club, and it's a private invite only club. And the only way to get in is to be on this call or to be invited by Jake or Brian, because like we told you before, this is not open to the general public. We're not doing a mass market launch. It's very, we're doing private launches at this point with only, personal friends of ours, and we're keeping it kind of on the low key, like we said, to give you guys a competitive advantage. So we look for some requirements that we want you to obviously be able to willing to use the entire application and the system. You must truly want to give value and provide benefit to your market. As you can see, that's what we like to do for our customers. You must conduct yourself in a professional manner. Everything is above board. That's how we work. And what this will actually do for you, what the app will do for you, is you're going to be able to build a real personalized print-on-demand business, right? And that's the key here, is you can build a personalized business that allows people to create products they want, and it's print-on-demand, so you don't have to inventory your stock or do any of that kind of stuff. You'll be able to use the app to attract new business with unique custom products, right? That's how you stand out from everybody else selling the free plus shipping offers and the standard stuff that everybody's selling off AliExpress. Not to say you can't make money with that, not to bash that, but why not give people the ability to create a unique product that's different, higher margins, more money, leverage that products, and be able to build a better business from that. You'll be able to have the best products to receive the maximum profit, right? Like we talked about with personalized products, people are emotionally connected to products, so there's a better chance your conversions are going to increase because they're like, hey, this is a product I created, and they're willing to pay more for personalization because they know they're creating a unique product. It's not off the shelf. It's not sitting at Walmart. I can go buy it for $9.99. It's a personalized, customized product just for me, and that makes a huge difference with the end user, with your customers. And of course, the whole objective here, right? This is why we're here. This is why we're on this call. You know, you can use this to meet your lifestyle goals by creating a consistent flow of income for your business. I'm sure that's why you're all here, is you want to create a consistent flow of income so you can have your own business, so you get to call the shots. You don't have to answer to a boss. You can do whatever you want with your money. You can take trips. You can make donations. You can help people. It's all fully controlled by you. It's to give you that lifestyle that you make your own decisions. So what you can actually get is you're going to get access to the Founders Club Access. It's the CustomPlex private Shopify app, one site license. Well, like we said, we spent over a year of development on this. So to even put a $10,000 price tag on how much it's not even in the realm of what we've spent to develop this app if you were to go out and try to do it yourself, with all the features and the integrations and all the different personalization that you can do. It's staggering really what we've invested in it. You get priority email support. You get exclusive. We have a Facebook mastermind group as well. So when you actually sign up today, you're going to get immediate access to the app, right? Immediate access. Direct over-the-shoulder installation training. So you're like, hey, how do I install this? There's a video that I shot myself personally that shows you how to install the application. You're going to get priority email support. Hey, if you get stuck, we never want anybody stuck. We're there to help you. And you have access to our exclusive Facebook mastermind group as well. So it's where we share ideas. We share new product ideas, what's up and coming, new vendors, anything like that we talk about in the mastermind group. And plus the right tools to get the success that you need quickly. So what we've done, all right, so the other question people have, especially if you're new and you don't have a store, or maybe you have a store and you want to continue to grow it, we actually have what we call our fast action bonus number 1, and it's in-depth training on how to get started fast. This is traffic. So everybody says, how do you make sales? Well, we created a call. This is a recording of a call we did where we show you how to get started fast with CustomPlex. We show you how to identify ideal markets. Like if you don't know, if you're like new to this, or you want to say, hey, am I in the right market? We're going to show you how to identify ideal markets that you can sell in. We're also going to show you how to craft winning product descriptions. So people might say, oh, I don't know how to put up, I don't know, what is the formula? How do I put up a product description that's going to sell? We teach you that in this training. We also do a deep dive into finding audiences that on Facebook that buy, right? So we show you how to target buying audiences on Facebook. So basically what you see, you get the Founders Club access, you get the email support, you get the exclusive mastermind group, and then you get the bonus, the workshop, Getting Started Fast. Then we wanted to take it a step further. We said, okay, we're going to give you the foundation. We're going to give you the app, which is the ultimate thing to offer the personalization so you can do print on demand, no inventory, increase your margins, offer products, then stand out from the competition. But then we said, okay, let's show you how to scale your business even bigger. So we have an in-depth training workshop. This is our second bonus, which these are advanced tactics on what ad copy to use to make people rush to your store. We also teach you how to manage and use breakpoint return on investment so you can get maximum results. We show you how to take a campaign and push it and stack it. And then we also show how to scale, right? Scaling is important to build your business even bigger with what we use is we call stacking. So this helps increase your profits. So obviously you're getting the Founders Club access, the email, the mastermind group, and then you get Getting Started Fast, so you how to get out of the box, how to target your audience, how to get things up and running, and then we have advanced tactics that show you exactly how to put your ads out and how to scale your business. So obviously, like we said, we could easily be charging $10,000. We weren't going to do that. So then we said, well, how about $5,000? Because we've like I said, we've put over a year of development into this. So we've spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources to make this application happen. And then we said, okay, well, $19.95 is fair. It's more than fair to charge that price because of everything that this application will do and everything that people are going to be able to build their business with. And then we said, let's add another bonus. So what we said is a lot of people want to build more than one store. So that's a lot of feedback we got. People said, hey, we want to build more than one store. So we added in a fast action bonus for you. Anybody that can hear me on this call is going to get fast action bonus number 3. We're going to add in 4 more Shopify licenses. So that basically means you're going to have 5 site licenses that you can get up and running. So if maybe you have a general store on one where you're selling a lot of different things, and then maybe you have niche specific stores. So we're going to make sure you have all the licenses you need to scale and expand your business however much you want to. So you can basically see everything there, well over, and that's even a conservative number, over $17,000 worth of value and everything we've stacked into the offer here today. So what we decided to do is, because of Jake and because of Brian, because they invited you here, we have 2 ways to get into the Founders Club. Now, some people say, is this a monthly fee? Is there anything like that? And no, what we've decided to do is make this easy. It's a one-time lifetime license, okay? So you're not going to pay anything other than this one-time fee. So you can get in at a 3-pay of $497, or you can save some money with the best deal and get in for a lifetime pay of $1197. So all you have to do is go to customplex.com/Jake, and you guys can get in. You'll get instant access to the application, and you can get started with it immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link in for everybody. And if you go to this page, you're going to see the $1197 offer. If you want to do the 3-pay, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there's a button for 3-pay. That you can get started with this immediately. And with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up to Q&A, and we'll probably take the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes. We'll do Q&A, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up. So I'm going to drop that link. Make sure you guys have that. Well, Brigitte says, what about returns and stuff? Me personally, all right, so here's how I handle this. Anybody that orders personalized, and I've been selling personalized merchandise for years. Before this app was even out, we were doing personalization, and this app just made it a lot easier for me. But to me, when they order a personalized item, unless it's a manufactured issue, like if the manufacturer, if it's crooked or something like that, that's why I have disclaimers on my store that says double check your spelling, double check all that, because personalized products cannot be returned unless there's a manufacturer defect. So unless it's like the color's faded or there's some issue with manufacturing, if the manufacturer screwed up, they're going to replace the shirt. So it's not going to cost me anything. If the customer screwed up, what I normally do is we don't refund the money. What I'll do is I'll offer them the item again at my cost, whatever that cost is to the vendor. So let's say I'm selling a personalized hoodie for $49 and my cost might be $20 to the vendor. I'll just say, okay, I'll give you 50% off this. They'll rebuy it at the 50. I'll give them a coupon for 50% off. They'll buy in at my cost. That's what I do. All right, and I never had anybody say anything. I've never had anybody complain, because if they've messed up the order, it's on them. And we have disclaimers all over. Double check, double check, double check. And there's a lot of businesses that do that when you order, business cards and that stuff on there. I'm like, hey, if you're approving this proof, the order goes through, you can't get a refund. So that's what you got to keep in mind. And it might seem a little harsh, but it's the reality we live in. That it costs money to produce this item, and if they made the mistake, that's what we do. All right, so we got that covered. All right, excellent. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, you can head over to customplex.com/Jake, and you can get in either for the 3-pay. And like we said, this is a lifetime license. Some people said, hey, why don't you, why didn't you have a monthly and do all this stuff? We said we wanted to give people the opportunity as part of the Founders Club to be able to not have to pay that monthly fee, to not have to pay any other fees. And we continue to add new features and development, and we're always looking to make things better. So we wanted to give the first fast action takers the ability to utilize the application and to just pay that lifetime license and never have to have that monthly fee coming out, because we already know that Shopify, when you get all these apps, and next thing you know, you got hundreds of dollars a month that you're paying out for all these applications on there, and it just really adds up. So we said, let's make this just a one-time investment. People can write it off as a business expense because it's coming in, it's a piece of software we're using for their business, and it just made a lot more sense to do it this way. All right, let's see. Let me just make sure I didn't. So if you have any questions on anything we've covered for you here today, just go ahead and drop them in the question box. Fad, or I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, so I apologize if it's Fade or Fad. How long until we, or I'm sorry, can I start selling tomorrow? Yes, you can. If you have a store set up now, once you get your investment taken care of here today, you'll get taken to the members area and you can install the application. And as soon as you put a product on there, you can start selling it today if you get it up and running. So yes, it's by tomorrow, absolutely. Brigetta says, how long until we make back this investment? Well, that all depends on what you do. I don't know what you're going to do. If you go ahead and invest right now and you install the application and you put up a product and you start running ads, you could start seeing money coming in today, with all that. So, I mean, realistically, you could start generating revenue on a product today once you get the app installed and you get a product loaded on there. So it literally could be happening that quick. So I don't know in terms of getting your investment back, how long that would take you. Like I said, it depends on what kind of activity you take in order to generate that revenue on the back end. All right, I guess Russell's got you handled there with the support. Anybody else have any other questions on anything we've covered here today or on CustomPlex? Otherwise, like I said, go to customplex.com/Jake. Take advantage of the Founders Club lifetime license, and you can start using the application immediately. All right, let's see. Anybody have any other questions? By all means, while you have us here live, please feel free to ask anything on anything we've covered, on anything with the application, or any way we can help you, because we certainly want to make sure that you get everything answered and that you guys get in and get started as quickly as possible, so you can make that investment back. Because we understand it's a great investment, and Brent says 3 pay is lifetime. Yes, the 3 pay is lifetime as well. All right, let's see. Anybody else have, if we're gonna, let me see here. Let me make sure we got that. Let me just double check because I saw the box scrolling. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, cool. Got that covered. Excellent. All right, if I missed your question, like I said, drop it back in. And okay, Ryan, Brian didn't make it on the call. I believe he had something that came up, so he wasn't able to be here. I'd recommend that you drop him a message. I don't have his. You know what? I tell you what, Ryan, why don't you give me the best email address for you, and I'll put it on this notepad here, and I will let him know your question. So if you give me your email, Ryan, and I will relay that question to him for you. And so just confirm your email for me, and I will get that over to him. Okay. All right, I got it for you. So Ryan, I'll reach out to Brian for you and let him know what's going on there and see if you guys can get that resolved. So we'll get that squared away for you. All right, does anybody else have any other questions in regards to CustomPlex, the Founders Club, and getting started? Obviously, you go to customplex.com/Jake. And like we said, once you get in the members area, you're going to have a training section that's going to show you how to install the application on your store. Now, if you're new, the question I see that came up is, what if I don't have a store? Realistically, how quickly can I get started? So realistically there, if you have to set up Shopify, which doesn't take that long. I would say realistically, you could get Shopify installed in, if you're new, maybe 3 to 4 hours, because you got to, there's some settings and you got to make sure your bank account's connected and things like that so that you can get paid, right? You want to make sure you get paid. So with that said, 3 to 4 hours, you can have your store up and running. The application doesn't take long at all. Once you have Shopify installed, you can quickly add it to it and get up and running. So maybe, if you're new, like I said, 3 to 4 hours, you can get Shopify and everything all up and running for yourself. So the question came up about, hey, what if I try this? Obviously, the investment's a pretty good size investment. Are you going to refund me, if I don't like it? So we've basically showed you everything that the application does. And because of all the development and everything we put into this, we don't have a refund period for the application. So we're looking for people that are going to get the application, that want to take advantage of the lifetime license so they never have to pay again. They don't have to pay monthly fees, and they're going to take action with the application and implement it. Because if you implement and use this, personalized product is a huge, we already know the e-commerce marketplace is huge. Over $2 trillion this year, going up to almost $4 trillion in 2020. And that's just e-commerce in general. So the personalization piece is huge because it just gives people that option and allows you to stand out. So if you use the application properly, you're not going to have any issue implementing and getting a return on investment of this. So because of that, and because of all the money we put in development, because we have a development staff, we have all these people that are on board to make sure if you have issues that you get help. So because of that, we do not have a refund period when it comes to the CustomPlex Founders Club special offer. So if you're not comfortable, Dustin, if that like I said, if you're already up and running and you're doing things, you can get this to work and you can implement it. So I wouldn't go into it. I don't like to go into anything. This is me personally. I'll tell you what I do. Me personally, I don't like to go into anything and try to put any negative things into it. I'm not saying you are, but you kind of want a safety net. You're kind of saying, well, I'll try it, but if it doesn't work, can I have my money back? And a lot of people in the marketing world sometimes will buy an application and they'll be like, oh, there's a refund period. They'll mark it on their calendar because we see it all the time on our side, because right at the 30-day mark, we see all, if somebody wants a refund, that's when people show up exactly like at the 30-day mark saying, hey, I want my money back. And a lot of times when I've interviewed these people, I've talked to them, they never even implemented the application. So by having this investment where it's a pretty good investment, it forces people to take action, right? If you have 497 or 1197 invested, we want you to take action. So we did that on purpose. We wanted to give you the enticement to take action and don't think in the negative sense of, well, I'm going to buy it today and maybe I'll implement it. Maybe I'll try to get my money. We want people to take action with this, because if we do decide to take this public, we obviously want to have some really good case studies. So we want action takers. We want people that are going to dive in and say, this is a ridiculous, crazy app. I can see the value in this. I'm buying it and I'm going to implement. I'll get my investment back and I'm going to keep, making money with it. And that's what we're looking for. So, and that's kind of how I like to look at things myself. I don't try to frame anything to where there's potential for failure. And that's just, how I handle things myself. We just saw that the software works, so there's no issue. Yeah, I mean, the software is fully functional. Like I said, we've been in development over a year, and it's been fully functional and up and running. So there's no issue. The software works. I will point this out because I don't want you guys to think that we're perfect, right? So sometimes somebody will have a Shopify store, and they might have a customized theme. So if you have a store with a heavy customized theme, when you go to install Shopify, it may not work at 100%. So what they do is anybody that has that issue reaches out to us, and our tech support gets on the line with them and we fix it. Usually we find that 9 times out of 10, it's because they have a personalized theme and we just have to tweak the code a little and work around it, and then we get it up and running for them. So I don't want you to be like, oh, they said it was perfect and I installed it and I had this issue. You could if you have a heavy personalized theme. But if you have any issues, that's why we have a tech team that's going to help you work through those issues, and we'll get you up and running so that you don't have any problems. So just to put that out, I don't want you guys to think like, well, they said there could be, it's software and there's so many different themes. There's a possibility that it could bump heads with your theme, and we just got to go in and tweak it for you. All right, does anybody else have any other questions? We're going to wrap things up in just another minute or two. Otherwise, like I said, you can go over to customplex.com/Jake, and you can get started immediately and get right in. And like I said, the app can be up and running, and you can have a product. Literally, if you have your store up already, you can have a product up and running in no time at all. All right, so let me see. Any other questions before we go ahead and wrap up the call here today? And make sure I got this here. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions. I'll give you guys another minute or two to jump in before we go ahead and wrap up the call here today. Let's make sure I didn't miss any. All right, see that here. All right, cool. All right, well, with that said, then I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I'll do a quick last call. Any final questions? Otherwise, like I said, customplex.com/Jake. You guys can get started at the 3-pay or the lifetime of $11.97. And otherwise, I'm doing a last call. Take about 30 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap the call up for everybody.
I just did want to say one thing before you did wrap it up. I just wanted to thank everybody for staying on and hanging out and checking out this software. And whether you decide to get it or not, it's 100% up to you. And it's realistically whether or not you want to take your business to this next level where a lot of people, they're just not marketed there. I mean, there's nothing else out there like this that you can actually take a product from something like Etsy and implement it into your store. Yes, there's some print-on-demand companies that you can do a couple of things here and there, but nothing even comes close to anything like this. And we do appreciate you guys coming out, checking out the software. And I do hope you have a wonderful day after this. And that's all I got.
All right, well, Jake, obviously, thank you again. And obviously, Brian, we knew that, he had some company, he couldn't be on the call with us here today. But if you're listening to replay, obviously, if Jake or Brian invited you, we certainly appreciate your time. Even if you're watching this on the replay, we certainly appreciate the people that came to hang out with us live, as well as your questions. I always love when it's interactive. It makes it more fun for me. So I'm not just like I'm talking to a screen and feel that nobody's there listening. It's always not fun to do that. So I appreciate your time and your attention that you guys gave for that. Also, I'm just excited to have you guys on board for all the people that came in. And if you didn't, you can still get in customplex.com/Jake. We're going to go ahead and process the replay, and Jake and Brian will get that sent out to you. Now, we will have a time frame on that. We haven't decided what that is yet. We normally leave it open for 3 or 4 days for the special Founders Club. As we told you, we're not open to the general public. So there will be a timer on that page, and when that timer expires, the special offer will be closed out. So we're excited everybody came in. We want to obviously thank you all again for coming here, and especially the new members that came into CustomPlex. And we look forward to everybody else. So with that said, everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and God bless.